Greetings everyone, my name is Atterville, and today I'll be doing Let's Tries on 3 demos submitted to Sage 2020. Enjoy! First up is Axe Girl, a 2D action platformer in development by Friendly Fire Studios. I'll be spending at least 15 to 20 minutes on this title, giving my first impressions along the way.
Once upon a time, there lived a young lumberjack who lived alone in a big noisy sawmill. Her name was Excella, and she spent her days happily hacking away at the trees in Porcupine's forest. One day, Excella was doing her routine shopping, when suddenly, a giant blue meteor hit Excella's sawmill, scattering parts of it all across the world. Excella can rebuild the mill, but first, she'll have to find its main source of energy, the power cells.
aka MacGuffins.
Once all 6 of them are found, the sawmill can finally be rebuilt. Chop to it, Excella.
On to the tutorial. This demo only contains the first actual stage. So running us through the usual set of moves. Excella has a short-range axe swing, a longer-range axe throw, and a super axe. I feel sad for killing those green enemies. They look so innocent. The only thing they're trying to do is walk into me. Everything else is actively trying to kill me. The downward swing reminds me of both Shovel Knight and Cathedral. Although unlike those games, I have an upward swing. I'm saving up my super for a mini boss, or if there are a lot of enemies up ahead. You get a lot more airtime from the downward swings, relative to the previous 2 games I mentioned. Voice acting is cute. The story is a bit out there. She was living her life normally, then suddenly meteorite. Are aliens gonna get involved soon? In the final game, there'll be 7 levels in total. Blue-haired girl in Comfy County. And she destroyed a tank too. Is she a potential rival? I don't really need to use the throwing axes now. It may come in handy later. I can bounce off of spikes. Mini boss time. A giant bee. On hard mode, I have a max HP tree, and my attacks deal less damage. I never played Hollow Knight, so I can't verify that, Mr. Lee. While jumping, if I hit an enemy, it pushes me backward a bit. Onto the boss. Treason. You're not Wispy Woods.
I'll make mulch out of you. Off with your head. Down like the rest of them.
Easy, no damage. But it was only the first stage. And that was the demo of Axe Girl. The full game will be released this summer, assuming there are no delays. So I completed the first 2 stages in about 6.5 minutes. I didn't expect to finish this demo within 10 minutes, but sometimes this happens. So here are my overall thoughts on the demo so far. It was perfectly competent, yet simplistic. It's not completely simplistic, however, as we have a few more moves that may come in handy, like the long-range axe throw and bouncing off of spikes at enemies. Graphically and musically, it's on the simpler side, but it works. And the way the story is presented is charming, albeit also simple. That's basically how I describe this game overall. Competent, but simplistic. Nevertheless, I wish the best of luck to the developers of this title. Second up is Bun & Gun, a 2D run-and-gun shooter in development by Sharb. I'll be spending at least 5 to 10 minutes on this title, giving my first impressions along the way. The story here is that Bun, pictured above, is trying to stop Wary and his gang of criminals. So we start in the Wilder West. A quick rundown of the controls. Left analog stick to move around, A to jump, X to fire pistol, and B to extend ears. We need to save a town from an angry giant snake monster, which was enraged by the aforementioned gang. I'll be playing through this demo twice. First I'll take the lower path, then I'll take the upper path. By collecting this, I can rapid fire. So by extending my ears, I can hook onto these, as well as travel up those holes. I wonder what H does. I see, it modifies my weapon. Cool, spread. I don't know if you have to zoom out the camera this much. So those are actually rabbit warrens. Apparently, if I travel fast enough, I can bounce off the walls like this, and initiate a double jump. Adding in 2.5D elements. I can't fire my weaponry infinitely, however. The amount of ammo I have left is indicated by the blue bar in the top left, under my health. Bye. That was a pretty straightforward boss. Although, this stage was not that difficult to go through, but it's only the first stage anyways. Not to mention there are multiple paths. So this time, let's take the upper pathway. But before that, I want to showcase something. In addition to the power-ups Bun can collect, he has access to 5 elements: Null, Leaf, Electricity, Fire, and Water. Each with their own projectiles and properties. I'll stick with electricity for now, and these can combine with the power-ups to create different weapons. Rapid fire is basically the same weapons as before, but you can hold down the button now. There's even a medium route, it seems. If I build enough inertia, I could have crossed the gap. I love electricity, it pierces right through enemies. So now my weapon properties have been changed. I can charge up my weaponry now. This allows me to boost up my jump height. Creates a bubble shield. and I can control this shield. It's like a remote control leaf shield. Well, that looked a bit odd. Let's test out the remote leaf shield against the boss. That deals quite a bit of damage. Something I want to point out is that there's a small delay before I can jump. There's a bit of wind up. The leaf shield just destroyed the boss. So that was the upper route, but as we saw, there's also a smaller middle route too. Reminds me of the classic Sonic games. So here are my overall thoughts on the demo. Art and music are fine. They remind me of the 16-bit Genesis era. Gameplay wise, this was a nice start. I didn't expect this first stage to be this large. I expected a much more linear experience for the first level. Controls are responsive, although, as I mentioned about a minute ago, jumping is not instantaneous. Plus, this game has an emphasis on momentum. I can't stop or change direction on a dime. The different weapon combinations are fun to play around with. I like how we can combine both the elements and the power-ups to create different weaponry. All the enemies weren't that much of a hassle. The toughest enemy were the spiky caterpillars, but I made mincemeat out of them thanks to my shock pistol. Nevertheless, this was an enjoyable little demo. I wish the best of luck to the developers of this title. Third up is Polyroll, a 2D platformer developed by Spicy Gyro Games and Shiny Dolphin Games and published by HOF Studios. I'll be spending at least 5 to 10 minutes on this title, giving my first impressions along the way. The story here is that the evil Kaiser Kiwi has kidnapped our roly-poly friends, so it's up to us to save them. First up is Polyrollopolis 1. A quick rundown of the controls. Left analog stick to move around, A to jump, and X to curl into a ball. If I hold down X, I can charge up a spin dash, or whatever it's called here. On the top left is my health bar, and to the left of that is the number of gems I've collected. Collecting 10 gems restores 1 heart. That was the yellow crystal I just collected. There are 3 of them hidden in every stage. If I press and hold A while in midair, it slows my descent. There's crystal number 2. As you can tell, the platform is quite momentum based, similar to the classic Sonic games. The graphical style mainly reminds me of the Genesis era. The yellow crystal may have been to the left instead. The yellow crystals are probably used for unlocking bonus levels in the full game. On to Polyrollopolis 2. And no, you didn't hear me wrong. This game's actually complete. It was actually released in late October of last year. The full version can be purchased on either Steam or the Nintendo eShop. I need the bomb power-up to access this. Where was the second crystal? Coming up to the first boss battle, which is apparently a giant traffic sign. Well, I suppose it makes sense. We had traffic gimmicks already. I predict it'll take 8 hits to destroy. No, that was 10. Pretty straightforward. So that was a demo of this game. So here are my overall thoughts. Graphics and music-wise, it mostly reminds me of the Genesis era. The levels were bright, colorful, and expressive. Gameplay-wise, this mostly reminds me of the classic Sonic titles, especially due to the momentum-based platforming, having access to a spin dash, and the levels having multiple branching paths. And I quite enjoyed the latter's inclusion. I always like it when levels are more expansive. Plus, the yellow gems incentivize me to explore and replay through the levels. All in all, this was a charming little retro throwback. If I ever acquire a full version of the game, sure, I'll let's play it. I wish the best of luck to the developers of this title. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.